US may soon pause preparations for delivering F-35s to Turkey. Washington. Reuters. The United States could soon freeze preparations for delivering F-35 fighter jets to Turkey, officials told Reuters, in what would be the strongest signal yet by Washington that Ankara cannot have both the advanced aircraft and Russia's S-400 air defense system. The United States is nearing an inflection point in a years-long standoff with Turkey, a NATO ally, after so far failing to sway President Tayyip Erdogan that buying a Russian air defense system would compromise the security of F-35 aircraft. While no decision has been made yet, U.S. officials confirmed that Washington was considering halting steps now underway to ready Turkey to receive the F-35, which is built by Lockheed Martin Corp. However, another U.S. official said one of the measures the United States was looking at was alternatives to an engine depot in Turkey, without giving more details. The official said if Turkey was removed from the F-35 program, it would be the most serious crisis in the relationship between the two allies in decades, according to Bülent Alireza, director of the Turkey project at the Center for Strategic and International Studies. The strains on ties between Washington and Ankara already extend beyond the F-35 to include strategy in Syria, Iran sanctions and the detention of U.S. consular staff. Many U.S. officials, speaking on condition of anonymity, worry that Turkey is drifting away from NATO and watch improving relations between Ankara and Moscow with concern. The prospect of the tensions could further escalate if Ankara goes a Erdogan impasse. Despite U.S. hopes that Turkey may still forego the S-400, experts say Erdogan may have already backed himself into a rhetorical corner. He has repeatedly said a decision to drop Turkey from the F-35 program would have broader repercussions, since Ankara helps manufacture parts for the aircraft, including components of the landing gear, cockpit displays, and aircraft engines. Wilbarga acknowledged that the Pentagon, in light of the standoff, was looking across its Washington has sought to persuade Turkey to purchase the American-made Raytheon Co-Patriot defense system, instead of S-400s. Erdogan has said that. Pentagon spokesman Eric Payon said that in addition to the Patriot air defense system, the American offer includes. Although Turkey has held out the prospect of buying both the S-400 and the Patriot system, the United States has warned Turkey it will take its offer of Patriots off the table unless it changes course. A Turkish S-400 purchase could also trigger a fight with the U.S. Congress, which has already blocked all major arms sales to Ankara while the S-400 deal is pending. Lawmakers could renew attempts to introduce legislation that would legally prohibit the Trump administration from allowing Turkey to have the F-35 if it secures the S-400s. Reporting by Idris Ali and Phil Stewart. Additional reporting